Hey everyone! In this video, we're diving into some of the most jaw-dropping destructions ever caught on camera. From towering skyscrapers crashing down to highways and bridges breaking apart. We'll break down how these disasters happened and why staying prepared matters. Let's jump right in.
Okay, Sarah? Uh-oh. Hey, come outside. Yeah. Yeah, okay, Sarah? Come down quickly.
Finally, witness the raw power of nature. A 6.4 magnitude earthquake, caught from every angle by security cameras. The ground shakes, buildings tremble, and the moment is etched forever on video. In February 2020, a dramatic scene unfolded in Dallas. During the planned demolition of an 11-story office building, the structure's central core stubbornly refused to fall, tilting precariously and standing firm. Bringing it down required heavy machinery and extra effort, earning it the nickname Dallas's Leaning Tower.
Allahu Akbar.
What the is happening? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh.
Zo, dat meen je niet. En die heli, die zit er van.
In 2011, a major TV tower, one of the tallest in the Netherlands, was engulfed in flames after a short circuit. The fire consumed the structure, and it eventually collapsed.
Veiligheid voorop, zei ik al. En dan zie je dus dat dat nu al gebeurt.
An official investigation was immediately launched. The Metrodome Stadium, built in 1982 in Minneapolis, Minnesota, was once a proud home to multiple sports teams. But by the 2010s, it had outlived its usefulness. The roof, made of membrane material, often collapsed under heavy snow. Eventually, the decision was made to bring it down, a move widely supported.
开路。怎么？我刚才电话去了。
In 2024, an abandoned three-story building collapsed in an Indian city. Fortunately, nearby residents were evacuated just in time. Then, in March 2025, a 30-story office building under construction in Thailand crumbled due to seismic activity. Though the epicenter was over 1,300 kilometers from Bangkok, the shockwaves were enough to bring the structure down.
คุณนึกว่าผมพูดนั่งอยู่ไปนั่งรถคิดว่ามีใครมาเขย่า
ใช่หนูก็นึกว่าหนู
The Morandi Bridge, also known as the Ponte Morandi Viaduct, was a vital link on the A10 motorway in Genoa, Italy. But on the morning of August 14, 2018, at 11:36 a.m., tragedy struck. A section of the bridge, nearly 200 meters long, suddenly gave way and collapsed.
Porca miseria.
In one of Istanbul's districts, a four-story residential building slid dramatically into a ravine after a landslide undermined its foundation. Thankfully, residents and nearby occupants were safely evacuated before disaster struck.
Burası toprak koyuyor bak.
There's something both horrifying and fascinating about watching a massive building partially collapse in an instant, leaving half of it eerily standing while the rest turns to rubble.
Happy.
In Mexico City, the Telmex office building rocked as seismic waves rolled through the area, a chilling reminder of the region's vulnerability to earthquakes.
No corran, no corran, no corran. Se pueden caer.
Dios.
Fast forward to March 28, 2025. A powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake struck Myanmar, sending shockwaves across borders and affecting countries like Thailand. In Bangkok, cameras captured a surreal sight. Water spilling over the edges of a rooftop pool, swayed by the distant quake. Back in India, on March 7, 2019, part of a 3-story building at Carmel School in Madhepur came crashing down. Fortunately, there were no injuries, as classes had been suspended for exams that day. On March 25, 2018, the Ashbel Smith Hall, a former 10-story administrative building located in downtown Austin, Texas, and part of the University of Texas system, was brought down in seconds using a controlled demolition. The entire structure collapsed in just 10 to 12 seconds, a perfectly timed fall. In South Korea, the Jindo Bridge, a pair of suspension bridges crossing the Yellow Sea, once experienced intense vibrations triggered by powerful winds. The event exposed serious design flaws. Fortunately, a truck driver who was on the bridge at that very moment escaped unharmed, though visibly shaken. Soon after, anti-vibration systems were installed to prevent such occurrences in the future. In February 2021, part of a 2-story parking garage in Lexington, Kentucky, gave way under the weight of accumulated snow and ice after several intense winter storms. The garage's owner, Webb Companies, later revealed that the collapse occurred when a horizontal concrete beam failed due to the heavy winter load. As reported by Lee Searcy of LX18 News,
after seeing holes in the concrete on the top deck and rust around poles.
There were cones reported being covering holes up on the upper deck of the parking structure.
In Lexington, Lee Searcy, LX18 News.
On December 15, 2012, in Kuga, Russia, a demolition attempt failed spectacularly. A massive grain mill resisted the explosion and simply leaned to one side instead of collapsing as planned.
Ой, жалко. Ой, жалко. Не получилось. Все.
In Sinop, Turkey, a building unexpectedly gave way during demolition work. The collapse wasn't part of the plan, and engineers were caught off guard. The Red Road Flats in Glasgow, Scotland, were once among the tallest residential towers in Europe. Built in the 1960s to combat a housing crisis, the complex featured 8 towering high-rises, each with 31 floors. Over time, however, they became notorious for high crime and social isolation. Eventually, the city made the decision to bring them down.
I am. I may have to move in a minute. Might want to move back a bit. Alan.
In 2018, a fast-moving fire tore through 6 buildings in New Jersey, forcing over 100 people to flee their homes in the middle of the night. In the Spanish city of Teruel, a 5-story residential building suddenly collapsed. Thankfully, all 21 apartments were evacuated in time, and no one was hurt.
All of this morning, Dover.
On September 12, 2023, the top floor of a 3-level parking garage at Ascension Street, Vincent's Riverside Hospital in Jacksonville, Florida, partially collapsed. Several cars were crushed, but miraculously, no injuries were reported.
Or hurt, several people were without their vehicles. 111 cars were parked inside this garage during the collapse. A special remote-controlled robotic towing machine is being used to pull the... Oh my God.
пацаны. О!
This footage shows the Mount Poly mine in British Columbia, Canada, a site that made headlines in 2014 after a tailings dam gave way. Around 25 million cubic meters of toxic waste spilled into the environment, leading to one of the worst ecological disasters in Canadian history. The damage was catastrophic. Forests were flattened, Hazelton Creek turned into a muddy flood that destroyed everything in its path. And Quesnel Lake, once a thriving salmon habitat, was poisoned. Though mining operations resumed in 2016, the environmental fallout remains under investigation, with scientists still tracking heavy metal levels in the area.
Yeah, see the pipe. Yeah. Flashing behind, it's kind of behind that river fire. Sure, I don't know if it's pipe, but I see some splashes of water. I don't think the keep the legs cool call was a good one. It's an exercise in utility.
The Albiano Magra Bridge, stretching 260 meters, connected the towns of Caprigliola and Albiano Magra in Tuscany, Italy. A year before its collapse, residents reported visible cracks following heavy rains. Yet, a November 2019 inspection declared the bridge structurally sound. Just 6 months later, it crumbled, exposing the fatal misjudgment.
It just completely collapsed onto those gas pumps. We don't know many details.
Gas station canopy collapses are rare, but when they happen, they're dangerous. These failures often stem from a mix of metal fatigue, poor design, lack of maintenance, or harsh weather. In this case, a heavy snowstorm caused the structure to give way. No injuries were reported, but the close call was a stark reminder of the risks.
Were damaged underneath that canopy. Firefighters were sent.
লোক আছে খালি করছে না কেন উপরে কেবিনটা